morning. Welcome to Satsang. Any personal effort will not do to try to see what the wise said when they say, I am that. I am that doesn't depend upon your ignorance or upon your knowledge of it, because ignorance or knowledge is still in the mind. Limited views, which makes one search or one satisfied with what he has attained. But it's always ephemeral. So nobody can experience it. What's left is to keep quiet, knowing that the slightest movement of the mind is a movement of the mind. It has nothing to do with what it will present. About that. The real nature, the nature, what is common to all beings. So, if you have any movement of the mind which is still important, which makes you busy, you can express it. But you see, it's really a question of not listening to the mind, because even if you ask, and paradoxically I invite you to ask or to tell if it is there in you, essential in you, you always are, which cannot be known, felt or experienced by somebody. And that was referred as enlightenment or knowing oneself. Which creates a lot of concepts, but you can hear that it's just an indication. So really, tell what preoccupies you, if it is still the case. Not that you are not even with a preoccupation, but at least you may not be fooled by your mind if you tell. And if you have nothing to say, it's great. It shows your helplessness as I am. Tiens, tiens.
Ganga?
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Hello. Good morning. Wednesday, you spoke very exquisitely about, and I cannot repeat your words, but how I heard it is you said something even in the heart that one can treasure as that has to be let go of or destroyed.
Because it's contained in a heart. Whose heart?
And then yesterday, Papaji says, no matter what, you have to go there alone, since we're such social beings, and I know that for myself, I always want to be confirmed, even a fight in a way is a confirmation, always being fed by the outside, and he says it's absolutely impossible, you have to go there alone.
And what do you understand by that?
Exactly.
I have to go alone.
Where does then the authority, I'm always, of course, somewhere looking outside of me, the authority of the where does that leave then?
If you follow that indication, what does it mean to go alone? You have to go there alone. Means without even the I who wants to go anywhere. It is not I, how you say dépouillé?
Devoided.
Huh?
Devoided?
Devoided of beliefs and whatnot, and still I is there. That's not to be alone. That's called maybe solitude, or I'm alone in the society. It's even be without this bloody belief that any I can experience it, can go there.
So that's alone. Alone, there's still somebody there, right?
As you understand, it didn't mean that. That's what I try to tell you. You understand the word alone with your experience of loneliness, but that is with others, I and the others, or I am alone, or I am more and more devoid of, empty, no, not him, empty of concepts and souls. I'm quite alone. I have less luggage. But still it's too much. Because I is there. A person is there. A person who wants to know where he has to go to be enlightened. Bullshit. What you are doesn't depend on anything the person will do or not do. That's why it is said, keep quiet, but of course one will understand with the mind. But in fact, it's true. What can you do? The slightest wish, desire, ambition to know yourself as a person, you will fail. It's impossible. So you have to keep quiet. Because if you don't keep quiet, there is a slightest movement there, and again you will be hooked at that. Unless you really hear, then it doesn't matter when movements are there. You are no more fooled. Or you can be fooled, but you are no more fooled that you are not if you are fooled. You know? body is whatever has to be. So it is the different minds with different search, different ideas about it, which makes all this subject, you know. What do you understand? Where do you go when you hear you have to go there alone? Tell me. What did you understand, or what's your experience? Or anybody, because if you went to the DVD, you also heard that. What do you get it from that? Tell me, it's interesting,
Yeah,
my
because
God.
it looks like to me I'm always looking for some kind of a support or indication or push or pull.
Yeah, but that you know, it's the way of the mind.
Yeah.
But you hear, go there alone. Because then it means you never hear anything new. You always listen to your mind. But why there is satsang is to maybe listen to something else. It's a chance too. And go there alone. What could it mean regarding all your belief system and all that? What happens?
That's a relief. That I don't know, that's the thing, you know, I'm always looking for, even the masters, they are gonna
Yeah, but you know,
you
see it's the
you're
mind.
gonna do, or something will.
You
or,
see it's the mind. It's the mind which is looking. It will not be a result of the mind. Then the result will be mental too. It cannot. You have to understand that you have nothing to do to be what is expressed by I am that. It's ununderstandable, but you have nothing to do because it's there, you are ignorant or not. So you probably have to remove the fascination or the hypnotism you have with your mind. The mind can continue, but you don't need to be hypnotized by it. They don't speak about somebody and his mind. His even extremely perfectly accomplished mind. They don't speak about that. Put your tools in the garbage. You see, we need tools if it was something that we could attain. I'm not yet there, so I do whatever is needed to accomplish, to fulfill that. But it's not about that. That's mental, physical, emotional accomplishments. It depends on someone who makes effort, etc., etc. Or even on someone who doesn't make effort anymore, is relaxed. That's still a mental result. You don't understand, you don't get it. Yeah? That's what you mean by this face?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But have you ever heard that you will get it or that you will understand it?
No.
Then what?
That's why you see this face, you know, because of that. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, but if you know that you can make it out, then okay, you are not.
But I also cannot forget it, you see. That's
Forget
the thing,
what?
I'm haunted by something. Exactly by what?
By what? If you search well, you may be laughing. You may be, or whatever, but by what? Yes, by what?
Yeah, by what? And
That's
it's
a
day
good
and night,
title
you know,
of a
it's day
book.
and night I'm haunted.
Huh?
I'm day and night haunted. It never stops.
Yeah, the person is haunted.
And it's not funny.
Only in satsang it's funny. I agree with you. I agree with you. But that's why you want to be wise, let's say wise. You will still try. They tell, you see. Now, if ever you come to this point of helplessness or hopelessness or whatever, what do you do?
Talk to you.
Oh! But it's worse. It's worse because you still have a hope.
Whoever wants to bring it.
Keep quiet, they say. Keep quiet. Let the person break the head, get exhausted, be proud, You think that whatever is concerned?
What do you mean concerned?
Huh?
I don't get what you just said. Whatever. Say that again? I'm concerned what? Forget it.
It will come back in some other way. Listen. What is expressed by, let's say, the wise? They speak of something else than about the mind, the feelings, and the body. Yeah?
Clear.
Okay. So what they express doesn't depend on anything. And they even speak of oneness, forget the concept, common to all beings, means it's not personal. They say so, no?
Clear.
Okay, it's very clear. So it's very clear that nobody can ever it can dance on its head to try to even think is accomplishing something or experiencing it, is just a dance. It's just whatever it is, but it's not what is indicated by that sentence. So keep quiet about this. Play and dance, live your life, but keep quiet about this. You can't approach it. Because you see, the mind itself is empty. It looks like coming, it looks like going, okay. But it's all looking like. So why to think one can ever experience it? Be happy, defeated. Be happy. Still you are. Otherwise, they are fairy tales. Fairy tales. Oh, you can if you like, but that's not my cup of tea. Isn't it amazing? You are it, that you believe it or not, that you try it or not. Then what else do you want to? Yeah. That subject was less known maybe 50 years ago. It spreaded like everywhere now. There are waves, fashion. Before that, everybody was also that. Doesn't depend on anything. There will be probably a difference in the mind. Some will be busy with that, and some just, even if they are busy with that, they know it's dead end, like me. Yeah.
Good morning. After all what you just said,
Yeah.
what is this split second?
Is to speak like this. Just to be able to see that. To be disengaged with the hypnotism of the mind. Knowing that even when you are hypnotized in the life, then what? Doesn't matter. It's waves. Are waves. Nothing to do. Oh, something. Oh.
I want this split second.
Huh?
I want this split second.
But
I believe I need this split
did
second.
you hear me, or do you hear your obsession of split second?
This was my question. Exactly.
That may be the split second. It's like enlightenment, you see, it's an obsession of the mind. And it looks, paradoxally, it looks generally, we have to pass through that and all, but at some point you hear, oh, it's only an obsession of the mind. And don't replace it by something else. Yeah. Hi.
When we started, something came very strong that I wanted to talk about. And then you said, just keep quiet. So I could see strong energy coming and I didn't want to go with it, and it dropped. Like actually, I could see the story dropping,
Okay.
which is very beautiful. But then I see very quickly a next one coming, you know? It's like it dropped and it's so fast.
Yeah, but even then, you see, if this goes on, do you lose yourself, whatever it means, when you know that it is not an experience of someone?
I see I get very distracted by it and like,
Yeah, the person is distracted, yes.
this is my baby girl in the background. And like I hear her saying some words and my distraction goes.
Yeah, but you see, when you are not distracted, where do you go? Where your attention goes?
I feel I'm constantly distracted.
You're always distracted. Yeah, that's what I say. A person is always distracted. Sure. So don't try not to be distracted. The person will always be distracted. Yet, I am that. Whatever distraction or no distraction is played upon. Yeah. You don't want to be distracted to go where? I would like to know. For what? To attain what?
There's a lot of there's a lot of turmoil in this distraction. There's a lot of physical.
Yeah, I know, but you okay.
Yeah.
You want to
I
be
cannot feel that now.
better.
Yeah. There's this wish for peace, no? To feel this peace.
Un po' répétition.
I see also having a daughter and being a new mother. It's very intense. It's a very
It
dynamic,
is intense.
extremely dynamic.
It's intense for everybody.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because
And to save yourself, you say it's beautiful at the same time. Yes, yes. We know that one. Don't worry.
it's driving me into a corner at the same time because it's very intense. It's too intense. Like I can't, as a person, I can't be a mother. It's I don't want to. If I can say it like that.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning. It starts well.
I get quiet when I come.
Mm.
When I come here, I get quiet, more or less. I'm not quiet, that's what to say.
Mm. But quite.
I'm in the mind, I'm still listening.
Yeah, of course you listen to the mind because this life is listening to the mind, and sometimes you learn to have a relief not to listen to the mind. But it's about what, after all? in the beginning, satsang existed because the question was in a few, I want to know myself, but not psychologically. I want to know myself because the so many answers were unbearable for a person. So I want to know if there is anything there. And we know the answers of all whatever conferences or courses are there about more or less the subject. And in satsang is just not a repetition, but it's 1,000 years back, it has been heard, you are that, or everything is empty. Everything is empty. So it refers to something that we exactly wanted to hear, something else than what the mind can catch. So it's not about quietening the mind or not quietening the mind, which gives, of course, a better life if you can at least sometimes quieten your mind. It's about that which looks like not depending on anybody, which is available in every split second available. So the conclusion is like, oh, it's so that is always there, conclusion of the mind, but comparing with what the rest. On top of it, it is expressed like it's common to all. It's not personal. A person cannot experience that. So in that way, if that can be taken, the mind will not try anymore impossibilities. And of course, circumstances that your mind saw it or heard it or whatever continues to be as it is attached to this born body and person, that will go on the same. It is not contained in the life of somebody. That I would call, since we use words, the peace expressed, you see, but not those peaceful or refuge of silence or whatever. The peace to not to need, not to have this compulsion to search or to try to be more real. A person can't. A person is never real because he is born, he has a life, he will die. So it goes on changing. A person will never be real. You can hear that? No, have a good life. And a person can never contain a real experience. So now, be as you prefer to be in this life. Oh no, it's a bit early, huh? To have a real tea. One can still like the subject, you know. It's nice we are in satsang because it's amazing. So, before the chai, what? Mm-hmm.
There's still sometimes images of formless, unknowable, and then I see, of course, it cannot be this image because it's already an object.
Right, and then after having said that, where are you? Left? Yeah, great. So don't search anymore. You demystify the forms and you demystify the formlessness. Great for you. You're lucky. What more do you want? Something beyond having form and formlessness or some other gender or what more do you want?
Probably the old game of an effect in the life.
Oh, sorry?
An effect in the life that it affects.
Oh, forget it. Forget it.
Yes.
Just forget it. There are many tricks to be better in your life if you like.
But a lot of effort.
Oh, but if you are lazy, that is your thing. Then you have to fall into acceptance. Good luck, why not? So don't complain. That's it. Thank you.